Ever since I was about 13, I've pretty much been obsessed with writing songs, recording stuff and being in a band.
We've been making music since we were 5 years old. We've been singing on stage and we've been loving it. So for us to be doing it that long, we're not doing it just to be famous.
You put so much in that sometimes it can be the reason for a fight, an argument or something, because you actually really shut up, Bobby.
It's the most enjoyable thing you can ever do, you know, doing what you love and you create and then presenting it towards an audience is magic.
Our job is to go out and make, you know, people think that every night's Saturday night, and that's the best job in the world.
It was almost a process of probably like a year to actually get the record together, and once it's out.
Getting from the start to the end it can be quite an ordeal.
Being a musician is 100% 24/7 full-time job.
It's not regular income necessarily. It's not a 9-to-5 wage where you're guaranteed at the end of the week you're going to have this much money in your pocket.
Because there is a decline in record sales, and that's an obvious thing. I think people talk about percentages and so forth, that a lot of bands are looking for other avenues to sort of capitalise on what they've lost, to try to gain it back.
Bands, labels, everybody, promoters, like, they just know that music, the music industry, the money in the industry is sort of dwindling away a little bit. That's why everybody's looking at new ways to sort of generate income in the industry. So internet's becoming a lot more important. Merchandise, branding, all that sort of stuff is really important.
Even selling albums, like, you don't get the money straight away, and even if you do get some money, sometimes it's not a lot, because, you know, out of those sales, you have to recoup all those album costs.
When you're starting off, you have the record label paying for everything. And when you start to get income, you have to pay them back first before you start getting money.
These days, the business side of music is just as important as the music.
I do think that artists deserve the money for the songs that they write and that they perform. But at the same time, it's such a hard issue because your music is getting out there and getting played to people, and essentially what do you want? Do you do it for money, or do you do it for music and getting your music out to as many people as possible? And there's definitely a lot of controversy over that issue.
The problem with downloading, obviously, is that it's ruining our industry.
You can't keep making records if you're not making money. Like, you're trying to feed yourself at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? And it's a job, and you've got to live off it. I'd love to just do it for the love, but at the end of the day, you get older, and it's like you've got to make ends meet.
There becomes a point where you've got to make X amount to be able to continue, you know.
There's kids out there who've never bought a CD and never known anything but downloading. How to educate those people to start doing the right thing and have them understand that if they don't support the artist doesn't exist anymore. That's quite difficult.
I'm not going to deny it. I have downloaded music in the past, and it's only when you actually start being in a band, you actually realise how sort of damaging that can be.
It's hard to say, really, what the music industry is going to be like in 10 years.
The next 10 years is going to be very interesting. I mean, I think we're in the middle of a music revolution just because of technology.
The new media is going to be the biggest challenge with everyone, like trying to figure out how to sell records or how to get people to hear stuff. Well, you know, with labels still trying to keep their heads above water.
Hopefully it will change for the better, and we'll have a lot more support for Australian music, and Australian writers and Australian singers and performers. I'm just going to hope for that.